All right, let's jump right in. We're about to pull back the curtain on something that keeps our entire world running, but most of us never ever see it. And we're going to look at it through a pretty unique lens, how to produce a viral YouTube video. It's going to make sense, I promise.
So let me start with a question for you. What on earth could a hit YouTube video possibly have in common with, say, the critical, life-saving equipment you'd find in a hospital? I mean, they sound like they're from completely different universes, right?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It all comes down to planning. See, for a content creator, bad planning means your video flops. It's a disaster. For a hospital, bad planning, well, that can be a matter of life and death. In both worlds, preventing a catastrophe before it even starts is everything, and it all begins with a really, really good script. So, let's talk about that script. This is our first section. In the video world, you'd call this pre-production. It's all the work you do before you even think about hitting that record button. In the maintenance world, they have a name for it too, Planned Preventative Maintenance, or PPM. It's the same idea. And you know what? The process is almost exactly like making a video. First, you take inventory of all your equipment. That's basically your cast and crew. Then you figure out what each piece needs. That's your storyboard, planning out the shots. After that, you look at what you've got to work with. That's your budget. And finally, you pull it all together into the master plan, your official shooting script. And just like a director on set, you have to prioritize. Some equipment, like the main theater lights or a generator, is vital. These are your absolute must-have shots. Failure is just not an option. Then you've got your essential stuff, like a suction pump. Think of that as your important B-roll footage. And finally, there's the desirable gear, like a backup X-ray machine. It's a nice to have, but it's a lower priority. Okay, so your script is locked, the plan is ready. You know what comes next? It's time to yell action. This is the production phase. This is where the real, hands-on work actually begins.
But hold on, before you start the main event, you've got to do your safety checks. A film crew double-checks their lights, their cameras, their sound gear. Well, a maintenance technician does the exact same thing. They're running tests, looking for any loose connections, and making sure the power ratings are correct. This is all about making sure the shoot is safe and goes off without a hitch.
And just look at how detailed this gets. This checklist for a safety analyzer is every bit as meticulous as a director's shot list. You inspect the outside for damage, you check the power cord, you clean the inside, you look for any hint of corrosion, and you test every single button and display. You leave absolutely nothing to chance.
And this really drives home what's at stake here. This is a real safety note, taken directly from the maintenance plan for an infant incubator. It's so stark, so powerful, and it's a chilling reminder that unlike a YouTube video, if you mess up here, the consequences are just unimaginable. You have to follow the script, no exceptions.
Of course, you can't shoot a blockbuster without the right equipment, and that brings us to our third section, gearing up your studio. Because having a great plan is one thing, but you need the right tools to actually pull it off.
Think about it. A producer has a gear list, cameras, mics, lights, the works. A maintenance manager has one too. They're thinking about man-hours from their skilled team. They're thinking about consumables like filters, replacement parts, cleaning supplies, and all the specialized test equipment. Every single item has to be ready to go. Now here's a word you hear a lot in this world: calibration. So what is it? Simply put, it's making sure your tools are telling you the truth. It's the maintenance version of a cinematographer making absolutely certain their camera is perfectly in focus before they film that one critical, can't-miss scene. All right, the shoot is wrapped. Now we head into post-production. For us, this is the final edit. It's the crucial, can't-skip-it process of keeping detailed records. This is where you take all that raw footage and turn it into something polished and, more importantly, something you can learn from. So why is this so critical? Well, as the source material puts it, a record system is how you keep track of literally everything that's been done. An editor logs every single take in clip. A technician logs every task, every part, every minute. It builds a complete picture, a full history of the work. And all that data becomes your version of YouTube analytics. Seriously, it tells you the performance history of every single machine. It shows you which spare parts you're burning through. You can see who's working on what, pinpoint the causes for delays, and this is the big one, use all that insight to make your next plan even better. So when you put it all together, the scripting, the shooting, the editing, what's the single biggest reason for doing all this? What's the number one benefit of this whole meticulous process? It saves money. It's that simple. A well-produced video that doesn't need a ton of expensive reshoots is an efficient, profitable project. It's exactly the same here. A good preventative maintenance plan stops those catastrophic failures before they happen, cuts down on expensive emergency repairs, and in the end, saves an organization a massive amount of money.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. From the traffic lights you passed on your commute this morning to the very device you're watching this on right now, our world is held together by these invisible scripts. So next time something in your life just works perfectly, maybe take a second and wonder, what unseen plan, what meticulous producer is working behind the scenes to make it all possible?